Hello guys, today I'm gonna show you how to set up this architecture. So this one is for IoT stuff. So I'm building a robot, and for this robot I'm setting up this architecture. So this one is for my startup. At the end it will be run at the Raspberry. It will be run in the Raspberry Pi. So there would be the brain of the system would be a Raspberry Pi. But for the testing I will do it on the WSL. At the beginning, so it's in Ubuntu and those kind of things. Okay, so if you are using Windows, WSL is Ubuntu. Later, I'm gonna port it in the next videos into the Raspberry Pi as well. Okay, so this one is a very basic one. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So I'm using embedded C. So after a lot of search, I find out that the Tahu Eclipse is a library to go for when you want to go for embedded C. So let me show you their Git repository. So these guys, they are supplying the Sparkplug B. Sparkplug B is something that it is sit on top of the MQTT. If you guys want, I can explain how the things it look like. And after that, for example, it add a little bit functionality like auto discovery. After that, organize the thing in a proper manner, and after that it has a very good ecosystem. It can be connected to ignition, those kind of things. So I'm using the Tahu Eclipse on top of my MQTT. For the MQTT itself, I'm using Mosquitto. Okay, so Mosquitto is a broker. So with the Mosquitto, I'm gonna connect. I'm gonna use Sparkplug B, Tahu Eclipse on top of the MQTT to connect the transfer my data. So it will be one layer on top of my MQTT. So without further ado, let's get into the code. So I'm using this block. So by the time you guys see this, this will be published. So you can look into it in the description down there. Okay. So let's get started. Okay, so let's open the terminal. So since I'm using Windows, so if you guys using Ubuntu or for example Mac, so things would be simpler. But because I'm a poor guy, so I'm using Windows. So you guys can follow like me if you are using Windows. But all the things is Linux back compatible, so it is very straightforward. Okay. So the first thing that it is that you have to update your system. So it asks for your password. I just recently updated, so this one won't take long. You have to install the Mosquitto stuff. Okay, so this one easy. Again, so after you install the Mosquitto, the next thing that it is that we have to clone the Tahu library. Okay, so let me change the project. Okay, so cd projects. Okay, so this is where I keep all my projects. So if you see the ls, you can see all my projects and so on and so forth. I'm gonna clone this repository. So we need to build the library, so we need to make it. So actually I'm cloning this repository. Okay, so something very simple, right? Okay, after that you're supposed to go to the cd tahu C core. Okay, so where is this thing? So it is on C. After that, inside the core. Okay, so this is the make file it's located. This is a place that you can you can build the thing. Okay, so after that you just press make. Okay, so this one build all the libraries. You see, everything is succeeded. Okay. So the next thing that it is that you want to building the project. This one is a final project that you are gonna build. Okay. So it means that this is the location that our final project will be. Okay. So I'm creating in this one. I'm creating the directory for the project. In this one, I'm creating the library. And after that, this one include. After that, I'm copying the libraries just now we created and the includes. Okay, so let me show you here what I mean. Okay, so if you see, I have two new folder, right? One is include and one is lib. Okay, so if you go ls lib, okay, so this one there is libraries inside, and if you do ls include, okay, so this one also is headers inside. So I'm copying these libraries, okay, with the cp to my newly created directory. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so he already did all the things that I mentioned. Okay, so very easy, right? So okay, so the next thing that it is that you have to install the Mosquitto. I think I did this one on top, but now we do it again. Okay, so the Mosquitto is already installed. So the next part that we do is that we are gonna run Mosquitto. So this one is our broker. So you see, if everything's successful, so he has to listen to port 1883. Okay, so yeah, so very straightforward, right? Okay. So, okay, let's go to Ubuntu. Create another instance. Okay. So you have not to close this one because now if you close this one, your broker will be gone. Okay. So okay, so now let's test our broker. Okay, so in one broker, in one of them, I will just create this one. It would be our subscriber. So just a dummy simple thing. Okay, so let's create another one. One, two. So okay, so he's already listening to this topic. Okay, so if you don't know anything about MQTT, you let me know. I can do a video on how the MQTT works. But basically, the MQTT is that, for example, you have topic. If it is like RabbitMQ, Kafka, all those. So it is something very simple. So you have certain topics. Somebody publish to it. After that, somebody listen to it. Okay. So the guy who listened to it, they call it subscriber. The one that who published to it, they call it publisher. So you can putting a stuff into it, and after that taking a stuff from to it, listening these kind of things. The part that Sparkplug B does is that he gives some certain format, is a standard on top of the MQTT. It means that the MQTT is just, you can put the data there, but what is the data? It is up to you. Okay. Sparkplug B, he will define a certain format, a standard, that okay, what's supposed to be the content of each of them. For example, you have a node ID, I don't know, device ID, this kind of thing. So it will say that okay, so this one's supposed to be, for example, the second item supposed to be node ID, the last item supposed to be device ID. So it has a certain format that how you what's supposed to be the naming of the, for example, okay, for example, the topics. Sparkplug B does much more than that. Okay, but so the basic functionality that I'm gonna touch in this tutorial is only that. Okay. So okay, so this one, so he already listening to subscriber. Okay, so now I want to publish it. Okay, so if I create another instance and after that do publish. Okay, so this one is another instance. So this one is a subscriber, this one is a publisher. Okay, so when you do the publishing, okay, you see that he see hello to MQTT. Okay, if I do another one, for example, hello MQTT, for example, 2. Okay, so you go over there, you see that, hey, yeah, okay. So if you go after that, you see that the thing is changed. Yeah, sorry. Uh, so you see, he already sending the messages. Okay. So okay, so I'm done with this one. So I'm not interested in this. Okay. So now let's go to backpack to our Sparkplug B stuff. Okay. So we already created this. So now we want to continue with our Sparkplug B stuff. Okay. So if you go to this directory, cd this. I go to the directory. Okay. So okay, cd, and if I do a ls, okay, you see that I already created in the previous commands before we go to the demo, I already created this one. Okay. So okay, so in here already, so in here if you go and look, okay, so now it's supposed to be only lib and include. Okay, so we don't have the rest of these things. So it means that we don't have the source, we don't have the makefile and those kind of things. Okay, in one shot in here I'm doing all this. Okay, so it means that I'm creating the source. Okay, I'm creating directory for source. I'm creating one source code for publishing, another source code for subscriber, and after that I'm creating a file also for our makefile, and after that I'm executing the Visual Studio Code. So let's run the entire thing in one shot. Okay. So if everything is successful, voila. So we already have the entire thing. Okay. So you see, or include all the header files that at the beginning of the tutorial we made is already here. All the libraries is here, and this one is our publisher subscriber. There is nothing into it, but there is a makefile also. Okay. So we need the makefile to build the entire thing. Okay. So let's go to the publisher side. Okay. So this one is, let me first copy all the source code. After that, I will explain that what's going on. Okay. So this one is also a subscriber, and the end part, this one is my makefile. So okay, so let's start with the subscriber. Okay, so what's a subscriber is happening? So we don't go to the on message first, we go to the main first. Okay, so simple. Okay, so we have a bunch of definition, this kind of thing that we get into later. But let's go to the main. Okay, so what this guy he does, okay, in a plain English. Okay, so you guys can go through the code yourself and this kind of thing. But what he does is that he just do the connection for example, the Mosquitto and this kind of thing. We created a broker, right? So our broker is now running in here, right? Okay. So he has to establish a connection with that guy. Okay. And after that, what he's supposed to do is that he has to tell that guy that, okay, so anytime somebody publish something to this one, I'm listening to it. Okay. So give me the data. So and when, for example, somebody publish something to that guy, so this function will be called on message. Okay. So when the on message it will call, so you do your stuff and so on and so forth and this kind of things. So okay, so and this one is a topic. Okay, so this one is a topic that, for example, this is the topic that we are subscribing to. Okay, so let's go to the on message. So okay, so what's happening in our on message? In on message, what will happen is that we're doing the Sparkplug B stuff, this kind of thing. Okay. So first of all, Sparkplug B use Portobuf. Portobuf, I don't know, you guys know what it is or something like that, but Portobuf is from Google. So what does it do is that he will, rather than putting things inside in a string format and making it so inefficient and those kind of thing and destroying the bandwidth, he will some sort of encode decode these things. Okay, so it means that it make it compact and those kind of things. So this is where the pain comes from, because every time, for example, you want to, for example, so it is very good for the bandwidth. It means that you can, what does it mean? It means that you can use the bandwidth more efficiently. But the drawback is that the thing can become more complex. It means that every time you do the thing, so you have to decode, encode those kind of things. So for example, in this one, so because this one is a subscriber, so he's supposed to we have to decode the things. Okay. So after we decode the thing, the only thing that it is that I added some debugging, so to see, for example, that okay, how the things look like and those kind of thing. Okay. So when you get the thing, so everything would be in this payload. Okay. So after we decode, everything will be in this payload. That is the reason that we're passing the thing through the pointer and so on and so forth. Okay. So this one is a subscriber. Okay. So okay, so let's go to the publisher. Okay, so how the publisher works? The publisher exactly the same structure. So the first part, we are connecting it to Mosquitto. Okay, so and all those, for example, you see all, for example, the host and this kind of thing, for example, the IP address and, for example, the port address, those kind of things is already defined on top. Okay, after we do, okay, so just we publish a message to Mosquitto. Okay, what is the message that we publish is this function. Okay, so very simple function. Okay, so what does it do is that so when you're publishing something in the Sparkplug B, it has a certain format, right? So he has something called metric. I don't know where is it. So let's see. You see, add a simple metric. Okay. So what we're doing is that we're telling him that, for example, we have a metric that it is a temperature, and we want to pass him this value. So the value is 42. Okay. So it means that we say that, okay, so we want to give you, we are publishing a payload, okay, and the payload, the name of this payload is temperature, and okay, the type of this payload is, it is an integer. Okay, so you can have multiple metric value. It means that, for example, you can have multiple value, those kind of things. Okay, but in this one we do a very simple thing. Okay, and after that, the value of the thing, it would be 42. Okay. So what we're doing is that we're creating the payload. In reality, for example, we are creating this payload. We encode it. Okay. So I told you we have portobuf, those kind of things, right? After that, we encode it. We have to publish it. Okay. We publish it. Okay. So when we do this, the entire thing will be published to the Mosquitto. Okay. So before running this, so this one is a makefile. So makefile, this one, just give it to ChatGPT. So it is not like back in the days that you have to write down the, for example, makefile, those kind of things by yourself, right? So you just give it to ChatGPT. He will write it for you very easily. So he will do what he will do is just in the future, if you add, for example, more source files, header files, library files, those kind of things. So for example, you may need this one, modify this one, but just ask ChatGPT, he will easily modify for you. So let's do this. Okay, so let's go 1-2. Okay. So cd projects ls. So what was the name of the guy? It is this one. Okay. So okay, so ls. Okay, so first we make the thing. So it means that this one is okay. Sorry guys, I made a mistake. So the makefile was not updated correctly. So I just updated the correct one. Okay, so by the time you guys go, I use the blog, so this one would be fully updated. So this one, it was the first thing. The second issue was I was not copying it properly. So it means that the last bracket, it was missing. So okay, so if you see now already the thing is built properly. So there is an issue with the WSL. So if you do actually, if you see now the subscriber and the publisher, both of them has been created successfully. Okay, but it doesn't show there. Okay, So don't worry if you don't see this. Okay, so let me do something. Okay, I write code dot. So I create a new instance so you guys can see the thing properly. So if you see now, both the publisher and the subscriber, both of them already created properly. It means that now we already built it successfully. Okay. So now this is the last part of the thing. Okay. So this is the demo part. Okay. Subscriber. Okay. So he's already listening to this topic. Okay. So this one is the format of the Sparkplug B. Okay. So this one is a group, birth, and after that the name of the node, and after that the device. Okay. So this one is the format of the name of the guy. Okay. So this one it is a subscriber, so we need another one for publisher. Okay. So let's do the same thing. This one is Ubuntu. So and I do the publisher. Publisher. Okay, so he already published to the guy, and if you go there, you see that he already published. Okay. So this is everything done. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this in Raspberry Pi. So I will port the entire thing into the Raspberry Pi. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the materials is down there. Please start me on the GitHub. So this is the way that we get paid, So because we get client, this kind of thing, based on the stars that we have and based on the views and subscribers that we have. So it gives us authority to find better clients, high ticket clients. So if you like what I'm doing, please like, share, subscribe, and please let me know. Because I don't know there are interest for this topic that I'm doing or not. If I see a lot of people, I can do more videos on these kind of topics. Okay. So thank you for watching and have a good day.